We are at a college party, and they've been watching some of my cop parables. And Ray says, you know, I think Stone Cold melt. And Stone Cold Mary has a point about the cops. You know, if one pulls you over, you're going 30 miles over the speed limit. You may not like the guy, you may think he might have singled you out, but yeah, he's doing his job. But if you call up or talk to in person a corrupt California cowardly cop, they're either going to, one, reveal that they're not. They're just honest law enforcement personnel. You ask him about the man who's been asking for Flight 93 checks for 9 years, and they're either going to do that or they're going to reveal their corrupt, cowardly nature. Hey, tomorrow's Sunday. Why don't we call up a couple of Mormon temples and churches, and let's also call up the cops, talk to them in person, say we've been trying to reach this man by phone. He's been asking for Flight 93 checks for 9 years. What do you know about that? And let them reveal their true nature. Has just called one of his California cowardly cop princesses in, Leah, and she is mad as hell. She says, if it's about that bitch and son of a bitch, they're liars, they're damn liars. And James says, no, this isn't about Father O'Malley and Sister Joan. They saw her swerving back and forth in the patrol car and lodged a complaint. And so she had to go take the piss test, and she didn't have to take the piss test because they got all of California's corrupt cowardly cops have those folks to take those things for them, so their drug and alcohol problems won't show up. And James says, no, it's not about that. It appears from the results of your test you have testicular cancer. They had the guy go take the test for it. Tony's talking to some other California corrupt cowardly cops, and he's telling them that, what, Tanya, I had to keep reminding the church princess, cop princess, I had to keep reminding her that they're usually assigned to Mormons. This isn't the back of the evidence locker. This isn't the back of the evidence locker. They had responded to a bank robbery call, and they took down the information. LaTanya wanted to see the bank vault and went in there, and she was one for you and one for me, like when they process a drug bust and they're cataloging the evidence, one for you, one for me. And I had to keep reminding you can't do that. But even though where my funny fixing ends, when you pick up your phone and see your child's lifeline not allowed to work when you call me, 424-229-4140, put on the backs of these files, California's corrupt cowardly cops, ask them their part in that. Ralph and Tony are two cops, and Ralph says to Tony, I can't believe they're letting you pick your next partner. How's the search going? And Tony says, well, Mitch is out. I did the Stone Cold test. I showed him one of Melton's latest cop parables, about corrupt California cowardly cops, and he just flew off the handle yelling and screaming, that son of a bitch with a Christ complex. Yeah, he's out. If you get worked up over a funny story, I sure don't want you around me when the bullets are flying. I'm Melton, son of Carter Mary. And yeah, I was the same way about the disciples. Back in the day, I'd give them tests, see if they lost their temper, took somebody's ear off or something. If not, hey, we'll talk. I am Melton, son of a carpenter Mary, dad of carpenter, worked on skyscrapers by Mary Ann. I'm a son of carpenter Mary, I get to make parables. And I get to design beautiful imagery of truth. Me alone in those changing eyes. In my imagery, the 19,000 plus you're going to find at ChristComplexLinks.blogspot.com. That's the Great Wall of Evil, and they're going stone cold crazy. Taunting with high-tech toys as always, because you can't reach me by phone. You don't know when else your family's lifeline won't be allowed to work. Yes, it's those who place someone named Hussein in the highest office in the world. Right after we got attacked by a whole lot of angry, violent, deadly Husseins. They're going this stone cold crazy, taunting. The TBS app works on the phone, casts to the TV, then all of a sudden today it doesn't. It's bizarre stuff. Remember to call up California's crooked cops and ask them what's their part in that. They don't know what a Flight 93 check is. They're involved. They're incompetent. Your tourists aren't safe here. Don't send them. The maid thought the room was unoccupied. She's embarrassed. She's a little shocked. It's a foreign Muslim guy from Saudi Arabia, and it's Warren, the head of a corrupt California law enforcement agency that shall remain nameless. You can Google. And Warren says it's not what you think. You know, they're both naked. I'm just kissing his ass. And they sure are here at Teague Terrace. Remember to write on the backs of these pipes. You can download at any of these sites. Vote-truth.blogspot.com for one. Price Complex Links.blogspot.com for another. Put the numbers of corrupt California cops to a man, to a woman. On the backs of these pipes, ask him, what do you know about John Milton Brady not getting one Flight 93 check and 9 years of asking your active participation in America's hijacked lifelines? What do you know about that? The sergeant goes in to see Warren, leader of a corrupt California cowardly cop agency, and says we've got concerned citizens from all across America calling to ask, are the Muslims safe in California? What is their angry tendencies that the cops are not addressing? And Warren says, oh, the Stone Cold Milton, the Milton thing. And, oh yeah, they've been trying to call him for years. And yes, the police agencies pass the buck to the feds. It's not their jurisdiction, but the safety of the citizens is. And when they see a man who looks very Muslim beating on a handicapped man's door and threatening him, they would like to know if the tourists are safe out here. Check and post and five, put the numbers of California's corrupt cowardly cops. Haven't received a Flight 93 ticket in 9 years of asking, ask them about it. A corrupt California cowardly cop, a leader of one, in this work of fiction, is talking to a Jerry, the California cop rapist. And he's saying, Jerry, if you'd only just come to my church instead of the Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, you wouldn't feel the need to do that carousing. You could meet some nice girls. Do a little date and maybe settle down. Sooner or later, Jerry, the street cops, the unseen business cops from other states are going to come in here and drag your ass back to their neck of the woods for justice. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter Mary. That's my work of fiction put on the backs of fives. All California corrupt cowardly cops numbers. Check and post and five with them via speakerphone. Not one in 9 years. Flight 93 check. Check and post and five. Hear a siren? In my funny Tommy parable. Hear a siren? Call up. Put their numbers on the backs of every five you can get your hands on, every five you can print out. Call up California's crooked cops to find out why they are active parts in your family's hijack lifeline. You can document that. You can get video proof of it with a Flight 93 check and post call right now. 424-229-4140. Make that video, post that video. Every time you hear a good siren in your neck of the woods, call up California's crooked cops and ask him why you are such an active part in my family's hijack lifelines. I don't care what the Hussein placing, the Trump placing news is covering, that it doesn't rate as far as my child's lifeline not working. But I want to know what your personal part is. In my funny Tommy parable, take your lips off Tommy's ass. Leah and Lacey, two corrupt California cowardly cop princesses, are at a bar. They're doing one of those, they're watching one of those all-male dance reviews, and they've had a few. And as the waiter, the guy serving the drinks comes over. There's a funny sound. And Leia reaches down, turns off her radio, says, "You have to excuse me," and then she burps. We got a couple more hours before we're off duty. Tell that bartender not to water down the next round. Remember to, as they do some wolf whistles, remember to put the corrupt California Cowardly Cops numbers on the backs of these 5, checking post and 5, ask them, what do you know about Melton not getting one Flight 93 check in 9 years of asking, what's your part in that? Very seriously asked him that. James, the leader of the corrupt Cowardly California Cops, is talking with Jerry, the corrupt California Cowardly Rapist Cop. And he says, "Jerry, if you just come to like my church or one of the other real churches other than the Mormons, we feel you wouldn't need to do that carousing." He means raping. Checking post 5 in front of all corrupt California Cowardly Cops who are letting the Mormons and the Muslims and the Chinese run wild to the point they're taunting. TBS app will not cast from the phone to the TV. I want to watch the games tomorrow. They're taunting. I've uninstalled the TBS app and it's still not working to reinstall it. They're being that obvious, and Jerry the rapist will have a spotlight put on him. That Mormon rapist will have a spotlight put on him. Promise. So Charlie has actually taken Jerry the rapist, California Cowardly Corrupt Cop, has actually taken him to his church. And he says, if you would just transfer to this church, I'm sure you wouldn't be out carousing. That means using his authority as a cop to get away with rape. I'm sure you wouldn't do it. Can you just try to transfer over to my church, Jerry? Yeah, the Mormons are Jerry's church, and they're putting on a little party out at the street tonight. So we get more California corrupt cowardly cops. Check a post if I put the numbers on the backs of these 5s and ask them what do you know about John Melton Brady not getting one Flight 93 check in 9 years of asking. Post. Vince are 2 street cops, and Vince says to Red, "Hey, Stone Cold's got another one out. Another parable. Corrupt cowardly California cop, princesses." And Red says, "Another one? Why is he making so many of them today?" And Vince says, "Well, he's doing the job of his disciples. He wants to get 12. We, as corrupt California Cowardly Cops, are in the way of him doing his real work, building Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Tear down the great wall of evil that has just me and all my imagery. Let's get started on those 1,000 points of light." And because, well, we're doing that with all those impersonators that California corrupt cops are with, the more dangerous of those in California and across the country come in to take pot shots at him, like the Chemin bio warfare conducted in Eagle Rock last night. So yeah, he's got I got more than 6 more to go. I need a lot more disciples nowadays. Rebecca is preparing to send out a whole bunch of Mormon Latter-day Saint church princess missionaries. And she tells them all, keep your eyes open, ladies. And you see one you like, even if he doesn't, go for the sales pitch with the Latter-day Saint cartoon Bible, you let us know. And we'll send the guys out there, the specially organized team. And Rebecca promises by the time they get them back to Utah and perform that brainwashing technique, you'll have yourself a husband. So keep your eyes open. I'm melting some cookery, and Mormons have been going hog wild crazy lately. So in honor of their hatred noise from down below, here you go. Warren, head of one of the California corrupt cowardly cops, is talking with Jerry the cop rapist. Now, this is one of my, the cop rapists don't get caught. one of my fictional attention-getting parables get you to write every cop in California's numbers on the backs of these fibs. You can find at all of these sites, including vote-truth.blogspot.com. The corrupt, cowardly cops, in conjunction with their Muslim folks on hand here, antique terrorists at Eagle Rock, conducting hatred techniques that involved a man beating on the door and threatening me. After I told the management, Vanaya, about it, she told him to come up, I guess, and beat on the door. Checking Post in 5, and yes, Warren is telling Jerry, maybe if you weren't a Mormon, come over to our church, you won't feel the need to do a little carousing. There's a cop in California, he's just knocked on a door, and Martha says, oh, you won't believe it, yelling, screaming, it sounds like they're shooting off a gun over there. And yeah, loud music, all that kind of stuff. Parking across my driveway. Yeah, Adam's gonna go check on things, but he knows how it's gonna end, and it's the reason there's so much turnover in Lacey's corrupt, cowardly cop church princess. He works with the Mormons. There's a reason there's so much turnover. They're gonna side with yeah, the corrupt cop. That's one thing when it's something minor like disturbing the peace, but when it's something else like stealing America's peace of mind by active participation in America's hijacked lifelines, check and post about via speakerphone with every cop there is in California. 424-229-4140. Hear a siren? Call up California's cowardly cops, conducting actively again harassment techniques of me, John Melton Brady, here in Eagle Rock in Los Angeles. Call them up and ask them, why are you active in my family's lifeline being hijacked? And you try to call me via speakerphone or in person in front of them. And you ask them, what is your personal part in this? If they don't know what a Flight 93 check is, tell them to go to ChristComplexLinks.blogspot.com and see for themselves 9 years of me asking America to check their lifeline. Tell them after they've done that, are you involved or are you incompetent? And knowing your profession. And then you expose, you make that video. They don't know what the hell they're doing in California. They're either active or they're incompetent. Come see me in person. Leah and Lacey, two California cop princesses, are at a restaurant on their lunch hour, and Leah says to Lacey, look, it's that famous celebrity. And Lacey says, well, why don't you go over and flirt with him? And Lacey says, I can't with this thing on. I swear it takes off 2 cup sizes. Hold him here, make sure he doesn't go anywhere as I go in and take it off. She goes into the restroom, and Lacey goes outside and shoots a hole in the Mercedes. He figures that's got to be his tire. She's going to keep her around so she can bat those eyelashes at that celebrity. I'm Melton, and yes, humor is fun, but California's corrupt, cowardly cops taking part in America's hijacked lifelines isn't. Put their numbers on the backs of 5s and check and post in 5. With them via speakerphone or in person. What do you know about me not reaching Melton, not knowing when else my phone won't be allowed to work? Leah and Lacey, two California corrupt, cowardly cop princesses, are in their squad car, and they're watching a couple of kids go down the street on one bike. One's up on the handlebars, and they're both looking in each garage and carport and driveway as they go past. And Leah says, what do you think they're up to? And Lacey says, well, who cares? We'll let the real cops handle it. We're church princesses. And then they see these 2 Mormons coming down the street, and Leah goes, hey guys, they go over to say hello. They're running cover for them, and yeah, Jared had just found a brand new laptop just laying by the side of the road. Yeah, as they case neighborhoods, expose dirty cops with the Mormons. Put the numbers on the backs of 5s. I've been asking for Flight 93 checks for 9 years, guys. I have yet to get one. Call up every cop, to a man, to a woman in California, ask him what's your part in that. Warren, the head of the state troopers, calls Joe in, and he asks him about the 2 new hires, Leah and Lacey. And Joe says, well, they're kind of worried about breaking a nail, if you know what I mean. And Warren says, oh, no problem. We got plenty of those pod people, the Latter-day Saints, doing that street stuff, active parts in America's hijacked lifelines. I would just assign them to them. They'll get along well with the cop princesses. We'll get along well with the church princesses. Yeah, often they're with impersonators of yours truly telling you about our hijacked lifelines. We, America, deserves good public employees. Call them up in California. What do you know about John Milton Bray asking for Flight 93 checks for over 9 years and not getting one? Especially if you get a cop princess, male or female. What do you know about this? Put the numbers on the fobs, call them. If they don't know, they're involved or they're incompetent. We are at a college party and they're talking about macabre parables after watching a few of them. And Ray says, you know, I think he hit the nail on the head with that about the cops. If you're going 30 miles over the speed limit and one pulls you over, you may not like him, but yeah, you figure he's doing his job. But when you ask one about John Milton Brady asking for Flight 93 checks for 9 years and not getting one, they're either going to be truthful law enforcement officers, or they are going to reveal their corrupt and cowardly nature. Hey, tomorrow's Sunday. Why don't we call up a couple of those Mormon temples or churches and ask them how they reached Milton by phone, and let's call up the cops. Ask them as well. What do you know about this man not getting one Flight 93 check?